I'm sorry, but you can't run it just because that's the way you've decided to run it. When you've got issues that impact a person's health and well-being. When prior to the project, everything was working fine.
Well, mixed reaction to the recently launched King Street pilot project. It's an attempt to improve congestion on what the TTC says is one of the busiest streets. And look at it today on a night where there should be back-to-back traffic. It seems pretty clear. So as we've been telling you, the aim of the project is to provide more room and give streetcars the abilities to move through this road faster, but it diverts vehicles. And one woman says these new rules are also threatening her independence. She works right here at the Scotia Plaza on King Street, and for the last 3 years, she's been leaving this building, coming right out onto the streets and getting onto a wheel-trans vehicle. It's a service that she and many others who live with a disability depend on. But just yesterday, she says, as she came out and hopped into the vehicle, she was told that her driver, the wheel-trans operator, would no longer be able to pick her up here. Instead, she would have to use her walker and walk over to one of the designated areas.
Yesterday, when the guy came to pick me up from work, there was the bicycle police guy coming down. He was talking to other people, I guess handing out little warnings and stuff, and told my wheel-trans guy he couldn't pick me up in front of my building. Apparently, there is an accessible spot down the street from where my work is, and that is the designated place to pick up people with disabilities. So wheel-trans is a service that's door-to-door, and now all of a sudden it's not door-to-door.
What impact would this have on your day-to-day life when you leave work?
Currently, in the old world, I would just sit in the lobby of my building. Once the guy pulls up, I go out and get into my ride. I'm in the comfort of the lobby, regardless of what the weather is, no problem. Now I have to go out into the bad weather and wait out on the street 20, 30 minutes in cold, rainy, snowy weather. That doesn't work anymore for me. You add uneven pavement, then you can add things like freezing rain, so you got slippery sidewalks, or snow, and then when people don't clear off their snow or do it haphazardly, you get ice spots and stuff like that. So then it becomes treacherous to even walk, say, 200 yards or whatever it is to get to the end of the block.
We took Vicky's concerns to the TTC. A spokesperson tells us they are currently looking into why the wheel-trans driver wasn't able to pick Vicky up in front of the building.
It'll be easier for customers in wheel-trans because there are dedicated areas for taxis and deliveries and wheel-trans and people dropping off other people or picking up people along the route. There are dedicated areas along the route for people who use wheel-trans. Just as, you know, any street, frankly, in the city, you can't just pick up and drop off anywhere. There are designated areas, or there are areas where it's safe or more appropriate to do so, depending on time of day.
With the new King Street pilot project rules in effect now, the TTC says there are still some wrinkles that need to be ironed out. And ahead on City News tonight at 11, we asked the TTC about concerns on whether or not this pilot project was making transportation inaccessible for some of their customers.